Welcome, architects of a secure future. You just made a powerful decision to step out of the shadows of ignorance and into the light of absolute certainty. You have tuned in to Dr. Carmenatty's channel, the only place where we confront the most terrifying truths of the digital landscape, not with fear, but with the unshakable power of knowledge and an unbreakable strategy. Today, we don't just observe the storm, we teach you to master it. I need your full attention. Right now. You live in a world where battlefields are invisible, the weapons are digital, and the targets are not just systems, but your very freedom, your intellectual property, your financial stability. For too long, we've heard whispers of shadowy state actors. Today, we rip back the veil. Today, we expose the chilling, calculated reality of one of the most relentless, audacious, and frankly, dangerous cyber warfare machines on the planet. I'm talking about North Korea. This adversary isn't a theoretical threat. The threat is a very real, very present danger. This problem isn't about some isolated incident. The threat is about a systematic, highly evolved campaign of digital espionage and sabotage, executed by actors often referred to by names like Lazarus Group, APT-38, or Kimsuki. We're going to dive deep into North Korea's operational methodology, explicitly focusing on their terrifyingly effective toolset known as BeaverTail and Smokescreen. These tools aren't just code names. They are blueprints for infiltration, exfiltration, and evasion that you must understand to survive. For too long, the common perception has painted North Korea as an isolated, technologically backward nation. This perception is a strategic advantage for the regime, a smokescreen in itself. The truth is starkly different. North Korea has cultivated an elite force of cyber warriors, funded by the state, driven by desperation, and operating with a chilling level of sophistication. The warriors' mission is clear: generate revenue for the regime through illicit means, steal military and industrial secrets, and destabilize geopolitical adversaries. Let's break down their latest, most insidious combined assault. Picture this: a highly coordinated, multi-stage attack that begins not with brute force, but with the insidious art of psychological manipulation. First, consider Smokescreen. This tool isn't a piece of malware, it's a strategy, a tactic of misdirection and camouflage. North Korean hackers meticulously craft sophisticated spear phishing campaigns. The hackers don't just send random emails. They perform extensive reconnaissance on their targets. The hackers gather information about your colleagues, your vendors, your projects, and even your personal interests. The hackers then craft emails so convincing, so perfectly tailored, that the emails bypass your conscious defenses. The emails impersonate trusted entities, a legitimate software vendor, an urgent IT update, a fake job offer from a prominent company, or even a tempting LinkedIn request. The goal of Smokescreen is to gain an initial foothold. The tactic aims to trick you into performing one seemingly innocuous action, clicking a link, opening an attachment, or enabling macros. The moment you perform that action, you open the digital door. The moment you compromise your judgment, the second stage begins its silent deployment. Now enter BeaverTail. This malware is their potent, multifunctional malware framework, an actual digital ghost. BeaverTail is designed for stealth, persistence, and comprehensive data exfiltration. Once the malware gains access to your system via that initial Smokescreen foothold, it doesn't shout. It whispers. The malware doesn't crash your system. It becomes a part of the system, a parasitic twin. Here's how BeaverTail operates, exposing your vulnerabilities at every level: initial infiltration and system profiling. The moment BeaverTail lands, Its first objective is to understand its environment. The malware meticulously profiles the victim's system, operating system version, installed software, network configuration, and security solutions present. This reconnaissance allows BeaverTail to adapt its behavior and avoid detection. Its profiling is like a special forces operative mapping a building before entering. Establishing persistence. BeaverTail doesn't want to be a one-time visitor. It wants permanent residency. It achieves this objective by creating various persistence mechanisms. The persistence mechanisms might involve creating new services, modifying existing registry keys, scheduling tasks, or dropping malicious DLLs. These techniques ensure that even if the system reboots, BeaverTail reactivates, maintaining its invisible presence. Command and Control, C2. Communication. This communication is the lifeline for the attackers. BeaverTail establishes covert communication channels with its C2 servers. These channels are often disguised as legitimate network traffic, blending in with normal web browsing or cloud service communication. The attackers frequently use encrypted protocols and sometimes even legitimate cloud services like Google Drive or Dropbox as a conduit, making communication extremely difficult for traditional firewalls and intrusion detection systems to flag as malicious activity. The C2 allows the attackers to issue new commands, upload additional tools, and receive exfiltrated data. Information gathering and exfiltration. Once established, BeaverTail begins its true mission, collecting your secrets. The malware systematically searches for sensitive data. The sensitive data includes documents, spreadsheets, databases, cryptocurrency wallet files, intellectual property, credentials, and anything that can provide a strategic advantage or financial gain for the regime. The collected data is then compressed, encrypted, and covertly exfiltrated back to the C2 servers, often in small, fragmented chunks to avoid detection. Backdoor installation and privilege. Escalation. BeaverTail frequently deploys additional backdoors, ensuring multiple access points into the compromised network. The malware also attempts to escalate privileges, moving from a standard user account to administrator or system-level access. This escalation allows BeaverTail unfettered control over the compromised machine and paves the way for lateral movement across the network. Lateral movement. This is where the true nightmare unfolds. With escalated privileges and established backdoors, BeaverTail attempts to move sideways within your network. The malware exploits vulnerabilities in internal systems, cracks weak internal passwords, and leverages stolen credentials to access other machines, servers, and critical infrastructure. Their goal is to find your crown jewels, your core intellectual property, your financial systems, your strategic plans. The attackers move like a digital ghost, leaving minimal traces. Now you might be thinking, my current security solution should catch this, and that, my friends, is the dangerous illusion. The very design of Smokescreen and BeaverTail aims to evade conventional defenses. Their phishing lures bypass email filters through social engineering. Their C2 traffic mimics legitimate activity, bypassing network intrusion detection. Their persistence mechanisms are often subtle, designed to blend with normal system operations. So how do you fight back against a digital ghost? How do you defend against an adversary that operates in plain sight by appearing invisible? You don't respond to the attack once it happens. You preempt it. You build an unbreakable fortress, not just around your data, but around your people and your processes. I am giving you the blueprint right now. This is your four-step path to absolute resilience against these relentless state-sponsored attacks. You must execute this plan with unwavering commitment, starting today. Step 1. Cultivate cyber literacy and resilience. Your people are your strongest firewall or your weakest link. North Korean hackers exploit human psychology, not just technical flaws. You must implement continuous, engaging security awareness training. This training is not a once-a-year checkbox exercise. It is a living, breathing culture of vigilance. Teach your teams to recognize sophisticated spear phishing attempts, scrutinize sender addresses, look for subtle grammatical errors, question unexpected attachments, and verify requests out of band, e.g., call the supposed sender directly. Simulate phishing attacks internally to test and improve their detection skills. Empower your employees to be suspicious, to question, and to report anything that feels off. Your human firewall must be impenetrable. Step 2. Fortify your digital front line. Your external defenses are the first line against smokescreen. Implement robust email security gateways with advanced threat protection, sandboxing capabilities, and URL rewriting. Deploy endpoint detection and response, EDR solutions, on all workstations and servers. These EDR solutions actively monitor for suspicious behavioral patterns, not just known signatures. Ensure your firewalls are configured with strict egress filtering to block unauthorized outbound C2 communications. Use DNS filtering to block access to known malicious domains. Patch relentlessly. Prioritize critical vulnerabilities on internet-facing systems. Every unpatched system is an open door. Close those doors. Step 3. Implement least privilege and micro-segmentation. Assume compromise. If an attacker gets in, you must limit their ability to move. Principle of least privilege. Grant users and systems only the absolute minimum permissions necessary to perform their functions. If a user doesn't need administrator access, the user shouldn't have administrator access. If an application doesn't require network access, block the application. Microsegment your network. Divide your network into small, isolated zones, each with its own security controls. This micro-segmentation prevents lateral movement. If BeaverTail compromises one segment, it cannot easily jump to another. Think of this strategy as building watertight compartments on a ship. Step 4. Establish proactive threat hunting and incident preparation. You cannot wait for an alert. You must hunt for the ghost. Actively hunt for indicators of compromise, IOCs, associated with North Korean groups, such as specific file hashes, C2 IP addresses, or unusual process behavior. Subscribe to threat intelligence feeds that focus on state-sponsored actors. Regularly review logs for anomalies, even subtle ones. Furthermore, develop and test your incident response plan before an attack. Run tabletop exercises. Simulate scenarios where BeaverTail has infiltrated your network. Know your roles. Know your tools. The time to figure out your response is not in the middle of an active breach. The bottom line is clear, powerful, and absolute. North Korean cyber warfare is not a distant problem. It is a present reality. You stand at a critical juncture. On one side, complacency, the dangerous assumption that your existing defenses are enough, and the ultimate silent theft of your most valuable assets. On the other side, decisive, massive action, the strategic implementation of these 4 pillars of defense, and the unshakable certainty that you have built a fortress capable of repelling even the most sophisticated digital ghost. Stop being a passive target. Stop waiting for the moment of impact. You possess the power to make this transformation. You possess the power to build the secure future you demand. Now you must act with the urgency this invisible war demands. Take control of your people's awareness. Take control of your digital perimeter. Take control of your network segmentation. And take control of your proactive defense. Execute your cyber fortress plan today. If this message ignited a fire in you, if this blueprint gives you the clarity to take action, then you know what to do. Share your thoughts and your biggest takeaways in the comments below. Tell me, what is your first step to fortify your defenses against these advanced threats? Like this video to spread the word and help others wake up to this invisible war. And of course, subscribe to Dr. Carmenatty's channel. Hit that notification bell so you never miss a moment of the insight that separates those who succeed from those who react. Thank you for being here. Now go execute.